Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to do a makeup tutorial featuring the ColourPop Mar palette. She looks like this. She's super duper pretty. I really wanted to play around with the blues in this palette, and this is the look that I came up with. And then throughout the tutorial, you'll see that I use some of ColourPop's newer face products, which I have been loving. Except for the foundation, I have been experiencing some issues as far as the jawline and around the mouth area. I did, however, go back and use my Too Faced Born This Way foundation for one day to see if it would happen, and it did. So I'm not sure if it's my skin that's acting up or if it in fact is the foundation. I will be sure to keep you guys updated in the bottom bar, and maybe I will revisit this foundation and do a more thorough review for you. Before we get started with today's video, however, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to my channel and also be sure to hit the notification button so that you are notified when I do make an upload. And also be sure to add me on all of your other social media platforms. I will link my handles down below. If you would like to see how I created this look, please keep on watching. So we'll begin this tutorial by prepping our eyelids for eyeshadow. I am using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Medium 28. With a fluffy blending brush, I am going to work the shade Full Zip from the Yes Please palette. This is a matte warm ivory, and I am placing the shade over the brow bone. Whenever I do a look featuring a ColourPop palette, this is my favorite brow bone shade. And I also make sure to bring the shade all the way to the inner tear duct. Next, I'm going to dip into the Mar palette, and I'm going to take the shade Sorbet, a matte peachy soft brown, with a fluffy blending brush. This is going to be our first transition shade. I am working this into the crease in a windshield wiper motion, and I'm also doing a few circular motions as well to create a more diffused and blended look. Next, I'm going to dip into the Yes Please palette, and I'm going to take the shade Mischief, a matte warm yellow, and I'm going to slowly build the shade up into the inner crease until it blends in with Sorbet, creating a soft pop of yellow. I am not bringing the shade all the way into the inner tear duct as I did with the shade Full Zip. This is one of my favorite fluffy blending brushes. I got it in an Ipsy glam bag, and it is by Bo Gaseous. It's really been one of my go-tos recently to blend shadows into the crease. Next, I'm going to dip into the shade Highway. This is a satin seafoam green with a gold sheen on a small shader brush. You want to make sure you sweep this color over the inner lid. You can also pack it in, but I'm just sweeping it into the lid. And I'm only bringing the shade into the middle of the eyelid. I'm not placing it all over the eyelid, since I will be going into the outer eyelid space with another eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to take the shade Gridlock. This is a bright teal with silver and teal glitter. With the same brush, I'm going to pat and blend the shade with Highway. There is literally no fallout with these shades, and I think that's pretty amazing. Next, I'm going to go back into the Yes Please palette, and I'm going to take the shade Big Cocktails. This is a matte orange, and with a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to place the shade into the outer crease. And with a Sigma shader brush, the E47, I'm going to diffuse the sharp line created by the shader brush. You can blow it out if you want to, but here I am just softening up the line. If you lose the intensity of either highway or gridlock, you can take the flat shader brush and add more shadow to the lid. Next, I'm going to take the shade Top Down. This is a matte dark chocolate on the outer crease with a small tapered blending brush. I used the Sigma E45. You want to blend this shade until you reach the matte yellow shade on the crease. And now to work on the rest of the face, I'm going to take ColourPop's newest product, their foundation, and I am taking the shades Medium 90 and Medium Dark 135. I am using the ColourPop foundation brush to work that into the skin, and then I am blending it into the skin with one of my favorite beauty tools, the Beauty Blender. I have really been trying to make this foundation work for my skin. I've tried using different primers, but I feel like nothing is really working. Yesterday I tried it with a new primer and I think it did a pretty solid job. I'll have to use it again sometime soon. But I do like how this foundation looks on camera and how it photographs. I just have a problem with longevity. I feel like it kind of just disappears along my jawline after a long day at work. So I will keep you guys posted if my thoughts and opinions change. Now I'm going to conceal the under eye area with the same shade I used earlier, the medium 28 from the No Filter Concealer. And then I'm going to take the translucent setting powder. I have really actually been liking this powder. I feel like I reach for it almost every day. I haven't had any real issues with it. I feel like I really like how it sets my under eye. I did also purchase the Banana Loose setting powder, and I feel like that one may just be too dark for me. I did just use it once, so I may have to go back and try it to really figure out what my thoughts on it are. Now, I don't normally set my foundation, but since I got this in the mail, I have. I've been using the ColourPop Sheer Pressed Powder to manage oils throughout the day, and today I am using the shade Medium Dark. In the summer months, I do see that my T-zone gets a little bit more oily than usual, so that is one of the reasons why I have been using this sheer powder pretty much on the daily, and I really like it. I did my brows off camera with the ColourPop Brow Boss pencil, and now I'm going to brush these bad boys in place with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. And now to work on my lower lash line, I'm going to take Highway into the inner lower lash line. And then I'll take Gridlock onto the middle lower lash line. And then to smoke out the look, I'm going to take the shade Top Down on the lower lash line. And then I will take a pencil brush to blend the shades together and further soften the lines on the lower lash line. I'm gonna bronze the skin with ColourPop's bronzer in Afternoon Delight. I have been using this brush for bronzer lately and I've really been loving it. It is the ColourPop angled brush. I did my lashes off camera, and next I'm going to take the peach blush from the Knockout palette, and I'm going to lightly work that shade into the outer cheek area. And then next I'm going to into the Innuendo palette, and with a Morphe R36 I'm going to highlight the highest points of the cheeks with the shades Fine Line and On the Loose. I absolutely love this highlighter palette, and I also love this brush. And of course, I do love a chin highlight. And next I'm going to take the Third Eye from the Luxe lipsticks. I love this shade. And next, here we are setting our look. And that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the look. I really liked creating this look. It just kind of, you know, took my mind off of a couple of things. So it was nice to just kind of gather some inspiration and create a look that is very, very different from my usual looks. So be sure to like this video if you liked it. And be sure to subscribe to my channel before you leave. I'd really, really appreciate it. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!